Hello，荧幕前的观众朋友，大家下午好，我是百格的记者嘉炫。目前呢，我的所在位置是在吉隆坡的高庭，现在呢是下午的4:33哦。那么等会儿呢，前首相纳吉的代表律师将会就是出来跟大家就是召开这个记者会哦。那么，因为我们都知道今天是这个前首相纳吉呢被控这个 1MDB 洗黑钱还有滥权案呢是今天续审的。不过，大家关注的焦点呢还是在这个国会解散之后纳吉的动向。那么，在沙菲一出来之前呢，我就快速来跟大家跟进，就是关于这个纳吉他此前呢是有挑战这个监狱局不允许他复会的这个后续哦。那么现在呢，正在这个监狱服刑的纳吉呢，他在国会召开之前，也就是9月19号就有致函这个监狱局的总监，提出要求呢，要出席这个从10月3号到11月29号期间的这个国会的会议，但监狱局当时呢是基于这个安全的理由，就不批准这一项申请。那么对此呢，纳吉在10月5号就有向这个高庭申请司法检讨，并且将这个大马政府内政部长还有这个监狱局的总监呢就列为答辩人的。高庭呢当时呢是责定今天续审来聆听这个案件。那么现在呢我们看到沙菲宜呢已经在里头了，很快呢就会有这个记者会。那么今天呢这个聆审呢，关于这个司法检讨聆审呢，其实是已经被延迟到去下个礼拜的，也就是下个礼拜3 10月19号的下午2点半。因为这个他们会展延的原是总检察署呢需要更多的时间来研究这个纳吉上诉的申请，并且做出这个定夺，所以呢他们就决定要就是将这个聆审呢是去到下个星期3的。好，另外联邦律师呢，他在开庭的时候，其实他也是有跟这个陈审法官有提到，他说，既然这个国会解散，所以他就相信纳吉的这个申请呢，其实是已经不存在这个紧迫性的。不过纳吉的代表律师呢，他却指出这个申请是很紧急，因为当中呢存在重要的法律问题，所以需要由法庭来定夺的。他说这攸关这个宪法的第48条文，因为呢国会虽然已经解散了，但上述的申请他提到关乎纳吉是否获准前往大选提名中心，或者呢是在大选中被提名竞选的问题。所以这个对于本次的大选，纳吉到底会不会，或者是说他能不能够外出去竞选呢？其实除了这个法院这里呢需要去审理之外这个大马监狱局的总监诺丁莫哈默呢，他昨天其实已经有强调，他说只要纳吉还在监狱服刑，他就会受到这个监狱法令以及条规的约束，因此呢，他是不可能获准外出参与大选的竞选活动的。那么他也有跟记者说到，他说其实呢，纳吉自申请出席国会被拒绝之后呢，他就没有再提出其他的申请。那么现在沙菲宜已经就是要开记者会，我把画面转给他
All right. Okay. The object of today's press conference is this. The last 2 days, commencing from Tuesday and today, and tomorrow you'll have the last day for this week. You have important witnesses from the M-Bank Group, in particular M-Invest. Yesterday we had Mr. Chia, who continued with his testimony in cross-examination. Now, today we had somebody else. Mr. Chia kept on saying to ask him, because Mr. Chia was not the operational man, he was the group GM, so there are certain things that, the group MD. there are certain things that he may not be aware. But I want to sum up the 2 days testimony, very important. One is we know that 5 billion IMTN was supposed to be raised, 5 billion ringgit. By any standard in 2009, that was a huge figure, at least by Malaysian standard. But what TIA, which subsequently became 1MDB, did through the bank was this, that finally 1MDB only received 4.3 billion. 700 million disappeared virtually overnight. Overnight meaning within 24 hours to 48 hours. Why? Because the bank sold to themselves 0.5 billion at 87 ringgit when the face value of that bond was 100 ringgit. So there was a discount of a huge 13%. Straight away. Then you hear that the story from Mr. Chia, Mr. Kok, in particular Mr. Chia. Sometimes discount has got to be given because of market risk and so on and so on. The two kind of risks you mentioned. But you heard everything completely. Mr. Chia was just guessing. He didn't know fully because it's not an operational man. But in the end, we know that M-Bank was not candid about the following things. One is the IMTN bond was fully guaranteed by the government of Malaysia. And therefore, it was a AAA bond. AAA bond means it is fantastic. It's very good, secured bond. You will never lose it because there is a backing of the government. And the Malaysian government, you heard from yesterday's testimony, has never defaulted in their commitment to any bond or guarantee. Okay? So, the bond is a first-class bond. A first-class bond, why can't you receive at least the face value? Yeah? So, the big question mark. Now, we know that the day they bought from us, from 1MDB, at a discounted value of 13%, which is 87 ringgit, the very next day, those buyers, including M-Bank, sold it. Some sold it at 100, some sold it at 105, some sold it at 110 ringgit. So overnight, they made the 13% difference plus the additional over and above the 100 ringgit that they sold. Okay, so Joe Low's company called Country Group. Yeah. Now we have evidence to say that Country Group was formerly known as Atkinson. So Joe Low made 559 million ringgit by just doing nothing, by misleading and working with some individuals in the bank who actually caused the serious damage to 1MDB. You will remember that Tan Sri Baki Saleh was hopping mad in the witness box on the previous occasion. He said, I caused an inquiry and I wanted to meet people from the bank, and they said a single person by the name of Mr. Tang. That's the question I asked Mr. Kok. But Mr. Kok said Mr. Tang never briefed anybody about this episode with the board of directors in 1MDB. So it's a big question mark. Why is everybody, you remember Sharul said, Azmi said, and Azim said, that they were asked to work in silos. Work in silos means one person work, don't tell anyone else what he's working on, and the next person and the next person, they all work in cells. They don't share information. You all know it is all rubbish, because working in silo is the start of corruption, start of mismanagement. So now we know what they meant by working in silos, namely the rest of the person do not know what conspiracy was being hatched in one MDB and perhaps even by individuals in the bank. So some people benefited. Now, why am I making such a big noise about this? Because obviously Bank Negara is aware 5 billion is being raised. Okay? Now, out of this 559 million, some of this money found its way. You will hear evidence of this when the IO, when Tan Sri Zeti gave evidence, because some of this money, big money, went to Singapore into the accounts of a company belonging to Tan Sri Zeti's husband and the two sons. So we want to know why. What is the connection of Jolo with these people? How come my client is the only one who's accused of this, whereas the system seems to be, the episode seems to be systematically wrong. So how do you expect the Prime Minister then, Datuk Sri Najib, to know that Bank Negara is not doing what it's supposed to do? His own bank is not doing what it's supposed to do. One MDB bank or TIA bank, which is the same bank, is not doing what they're supposed to do. And the management of one MDB completely let him down. So that is where we are heading. So I thought I should mention that to you because every time there is a hearing, either you cannot hear properly, or because, you know, in the banter of cross-examination and answer, you may miss very valuable. So I thought I summarize it so that you now understand where we are going. Is that clear? Any question? Yes.
Can we ask on one other topic? It's related to the PO at the federal court regarding.
Sorry, review.
The review.
The review.
That's the Najib's review, kan? SLC. Are you guys voting in Jonathan Taylor for the matter?
Okay, as you know, I have always wanted to pursue Jonathan Laidlaw. So the appeal has been lodged because we were very much in time. Although the previous solicitors, prior to me taking back, indicated in an unofficial way that they were not interested to pursue the appeal, but we are pursuing the appeal because we think it is rather ridiculous that you ignore to appeal on Jonathan Laidlaw when he is easily in the Commonwealth the best fraud, corruption, and other commercial crime lawyer in the Commonwealth or perhaps even in the world. And that's the reason why we wanted to engage him. So we will be using this facility of getting Jonathan Laidlaw if the review is brought as soon as possible, and if the merit is heard, because Jonathan Laidlaw was on merit. The review is on two things. One is on the procedure in which the federal court heard the matter. We thought it was not fair. There was no fair trial. Fair trial meaning including there was no fair appeal process because there was no argument from the new counsel and the solicitors who were not prepared because they were appointed only 2 weeks earlier. So we thought that is the review. And if they agree with us, they would have, assuming the new federal court for constituting new lawyers, new judges, they agree with us, they have to do two things. One is either to acquit totally because a failure of fair trial or fair appeal is a total failure of the system. The benefit is to be given to the accused person. But the worst that can happen, if assuming we win, they will say we order a retrial of a rehearing of the appeal before another quorum of federal court. If that were to happen, I will definitely, I'll tell you without keeping you a secret, I will certainly ask for a stay immediately, because he'll be back to square one, as though his appeal has not been heard. Therefore, you should give him a stay. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
So the stay of disqualification of MP.
No, the stay of conviction, because if the federal court say rehear the whole appeal before the federal court, the conviction is only that of the court of appeal. Remember? So the stay of the court of appeal conviction we got from the previous court of appeal. So we should go back to square one, and therefore he should walk out of the prison so that he can challenge the appeal while he is at liberty. Okay?
We want to ask another topic about Nazir can stand as a candidate.
Sorry, yeah?
Become candidate in the PRU 15. Maybe, yeah. Can you explain this?
Okay. You're saying how to become a candidate
Yeah.
in the PRU 15. You're talking about who becoming a candidate?
Najib. I mean.
Datuk Sri Najib. Okay. I do not want to touch on this because there are a lot of interesting development. There are a lot of interesting argument I do not want to make public. I want to keep it to my chest first. When I execute it, then you'll know. Okay?
Shafee, how about Datuk Sri Najib? Will he try to apply to the prisons to be allowed to go and campaign, to help in campaigns in...
That is opening my chest, which I'm just closing for a while.
But yesterday the prisons DG said that Datuk Sri Najib will not be allowed to go out to help in any campaign or to do any campaigns in GE.
Well, I think the DG was talking about the usual state of affairs in the prison. What we have applied, as you know, I don't do normal or usual things. I do extraordinary things. And with the application of Datuk Sri Najib to attend Parliament, we invoked a section 31, which was never invoked before. Never. Not even Datuk Sri Najib. So that is something which I do not want to go beyond.
But Datuk Sri Najib has not made any application to the prison yet to be allowed to go out to campaign in GE.
I can't say it.
No, I mean,
No, I can't say it.
he hasn't.
No, I can't say it.
You can't say whether he has or has not yet.
No, I can't say it. Okay? You ask me 10 times, I will tell you the same answer. I can't say it. Yes.
Actually, you mentioned that you write to the federal court to bring forward the CM of the review. So,
Yes, it is now on the 21st.
and you brought forward
Yes, I'm a bit disappointed that it took one whole month.
initially it was planned to 6.
Sorry?
Initially it was scheduled when it was here.
I thought it's always been 21st. I thought, yeah. It could be 26, I may be mistaken, but it's always been that day.
So now it's 21st of CM.
No, it's 21st or 26th. I'm not so certain. But there is a case management, but there I want to ask for the matter to be heard. Okay? Anything else?
Sorry, Shafee, about the Johnson Lake law part. So just to confirm, because it sounds like that you want to bring Jonathan Lake law to Datuk Sri Najib in the review of the FRC.
No. I said this. The review, two things can happen. Either he's acquitted on the review itself, because fair trial or fair appeal proceeded not given to him. That means the merit need not have to be argued. But if the court said we resend it back to a different panel of the federal court to rehear your appeal, that means the merits will be heard, then Jonathan Law will be relevant.
So Jonathan Lake law is only for the
Full appeal, for the full appeal.
So for the review, you are not involving Jonathan Lake law.
Most probably not, but I'm getting advice from several. Now it's called King's Council case. No more queues.
Is it related to your trip to Australia to meet your friend?
I'm not saying. Okay?
But for,
you will know later.
But for Jonathan Lake, you want to meet for the full appeal if there's one full access.
Yes.
But the review, you most likely meet yourself without Jonathan Lake.
Yes, but with assistance of opinion from many others. Okay? What's that?
From any other cases?
No, I said I've consulted many King's Council. Leave it at that without mentioning them. Okay? Anything else? That's it?
That means, just to clarify, that means you'll be getting the help of other King's Council for the review itself.
Getting help? No.
You say you'll be getting help from many others.
What I said was I'm consulting so that I'm better prepared on many reasons to argue the review. Okay? The review is about procedure of fair trial, fair appeal. Okay? That's it?
Thanks very much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yep. Aku nak buat pasal itu dulu.
好，现在声音 OK 吗？因为刚刚可能就是收到环境音哦，没有收到这个耳机的声音。好。大家下午好。现在呢，我的所在位置依然是在这个吉隆坡高庭的外头。刚刚呢是这个纳吉的代表律师沙菲宜对记者就是发表了一些内容。那么最主要呢是关于讲的都是这个 1MDB 滥权案还有洗黑钱案的这个进展，然后他们发现了一个新的线索。那么还有关于就是之前的一个司法检讨的上诉的一些内容。那么我觉得大家更关注的就是这个前首相纳吉到底会不会在这一次的 第15届全国大选出来竞选，或者是说呢出来助选哦。那么刚刚我们就把这道问题呢，就是让这个沙菲仪来替大家做解答。不过呢，他的回答真的是非常的保守，也非常的有所保留。他说呢，在还没有更多的这个消息之前，其实他是无法跟我们透露更多，因为其实呢，在昨天的时候，这个监狱局的总监就是诺丁莫哈默呢，他其实有提及就是纳吉呢，他除了申请就是要出席国会的会议的这个申请之外呢，他没有再提出其他的申请。那么我们刚刚记者就有问到他，就除了这一项，就是目前纳吉还有没有就是跟监狱局那里去申请要出来助选呢？那么对于这道问题呢，刚刚沙菲仪的回答也是非常的保守。他说呢，他还是需要把这个消息呢先就是无法对外公开透露更多，因为我们就问他有没有申请，那么他说不能讲有，也不能说没有，所以有可能需要等到整个的消息或者是东西更加具体之后，他才能够对外去发表。那么如果大家呢想要就是了解更多，或是想要知道今天的更多内容的话，也可以留守百格的这个日报，还有就是可以去新洲网看一下更详细的这个报道。当然，关于更多的这个第15届全国大选的消息呢，大家也可以留守这个百格的脸书以及百格的 YouTube。所以呢，还没有订阅按赞的朋友呢，就记得先订阅按赞起来。那么这里呢，也跟大家预告一下，就是今天晚上10点正，我们有这个百个大家讲，那么也邀请了2位嘉宾哦，一位呢就是行动党的这个霹雳州的主席尼克敏，还有就是时事评论员就是刘伟成，会在线上呢跟大家来谈，就是解散之后的这个局势的发展，还有他们是怎么样来分析的。因为关于这个各州到底要不要同步解散其实呢也有很多的这个声音，所以如果大家想要了解更多的话呢，就记得要留守今天晚上的这个直播。那么我们的这个百格在外的这个报道呢，就到这里告一段落了。那么我们晚上再见。